about in the Catholic Church is we see so much going on like at Mass. We see a lot of movement and standing and sitting and kneeling and the priest is blessing at certain times and breaking things and doing things. And we're probably wondering like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? What's the meaning behind all this? Is there a meaning behind it? And the answer is yes, there is a meaning behind everything. So it's my goal here to just explain different parts of the Mass and why we're doing what we're doing. There's a lot of connection to biblical themes too, so I'll try to make those connections as we go through. The first thing before jumping into the procession and the liturgy itself, let's talk about the vestments that a priest wears. So if you go back to Moses in the Old Testament, when God was giving Moses the commandment to celebrate the liturgy of the Old Testament, he specifically had Moses wearing certain vestments. And you can go back and read about those, and it's kind of fascinating to read. But you see Moses vesting in a very particular way to offer the sacrifices that were there. So in the New Covenant too, in the new priesthood of Jesus Christ, a priest vests in a certain way, and it has meaning and purpose to it for our new covenant, for who we are. First thing is that the priest will put this black that I wear every day is a symbol of kind of like that me dying. It's almost like that funeral symbol, like that dying to self and being alive for Christ. It just has that sort of kind of symbolism in the world, living that way. When we go to liturgy, all the black gets covered up, and we want to be clothed in white. So the alb is that white vestment that goes on first. And the white, of course, symbolizes our baptism. So that I've been baptized, that the congregation has been baptized, and that we are clothed in Christ together. So it's a symbolism, the alb, of all of our baptisms. So that's the first piece that a priest will put on is the alb, symbolizing, again, the fact that we've been baptized and we're about to enter into the heavenly liturgy. Before I put that, I'm going to put my amice on because I have the type of alb that requires this. This is called an amice. A little spiritual symbolism for it. Practically, it covers my collar, but the spiritual symbolism is, St. Paul talks about putting on the helmet of salvation, so being protected from the enemy and from all of his attacks. So there's a little prayer that goes on with the amice of like being protected from the devil and all of his assaults and attacks. And so the priest vests with the amice and with that prayer. And again, its practical purpose is to cover up my Roman collar, because all of this attire needs to be covered up as we enter into liturgy. And now I can put the alb on over the amice, again representing baptism. The next piece that I usually put on here is called a cincture. This is, again, there's a practical and a spiritual purpose, right? So practically, it kind of keeps your alb secure. You see the servers wear albs and cinctures, so it secures it around your waist. Spiritually, we talk about the cincture representing chastity. So like, we're going to vow to keep our chaste, live a chaste life for the Lord, right? Through celibacy or through married life, however it is that we're called to live for God. So it's a symbol of chastity. The next piece of vestment here is the stole. So you might see a server wear an alb and cincture, but a priest wears the alb cincture, and he also wears a stole. Obviously, the servers don't wear the stole. The stole represents my priestly office that was given to me through my ordination. So a deacon, like Deacon Mike, wears the stole across himself. The priest wears it over his neck, representing the authority of the priestly office. So when a Roman Catholic priest is wearing a stole that looks like this, you know that he's a priest. And then the last piece here is called a chasuble. This covers up my undergarments. This fits the color of the liturgical season. This is like a gold white one because we're in Easter now. If we were in ordinary time, it'd be green. Lent and Advent would be purple, Christmas white. So this represents spiritually like charity. So I'm being covered in charity and in God's charity with my priestly office, with my baptismal garment. And again, it's a calling for me, but for all of us as well.